Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today, I'm going to show you how to use OpenAI, that's the company behind ChatGPT, to generate images, whatever you can think of, using your Microsoft Access database. So before we get started, if you haven't watched my OpenAI videos, it's a two-part series. Go watch these and build that database, because that's the database I'm going to start working with today. Okay? So go watch these and then come on back. All right, so I downloaded the OpenAI video from my website. If you're a gold member, you can do that. If not, you'll have to build it yourself following the videos. First thing I'm going to do is go in the secret key mod here and put in my API key, which goes right here. I will do my best not to flash that one on the screen like I've done before. The next thing I'm going to do, this video is about 2 years old, and they've got a bunch of newer models available. I personally like the 4.1 model. Yeah, version 5 is available. I'm finding 4.1 easier to work with, so I'm going to put 4.1 in there. It's faster. It does most of what I need. I found 5. It's got 3 models. It's got Nano and Mini. And you can find these by just searching for OpenAI API models. 4.1 I think is the best one. It balances speed with, it's smart enough to do what you want it to do. 5 Nano is the smallest one. It doesn't work with anything. It's the one that's supposed to respond the fastest. Mini's not too bad. And the version 5, it's supposed to think, as much as it needs, is super slow. So I stopped using that one. But I like 4.1 still. It works the best for me. So this is just for your regular conversations and stuff, whatever if you're using this database, upgrade your model once in a while. Plus the 4.1 supports a lot more tokens, basically a lot more characters you can send back and forth than the older versions. You have to chunk stuff up if you got like a really big, set of training data. And yes, one of my upcoming videos, I am going to show you how to make your database be able to remember the previous conversations, so you can actually have a conversation with the API in your database. I do that a lot for customer service stuff. So we'll get to that later. Today we're going to focus just on getting pictures. Now, I generally don't like copying data a lot, but we are going to make a copy of this Ask OpenAI. We're just going to copy this whole thing. Copy and paste it down. Let's paste it down right down below here, and we're going to change it to Ask OpenAI picture or image or whatever you want to call it. We're going to make 2 separate subs. I don't think we need, well, let's leave this open. Because it's just, there's some changes, some structural changes we have to make to the payload that we send. It's just easier to keep them separate. Now we can still work with user content. Here's where you tell the AI what you want for your images, right? Like, dogs playing poker is what I did for the title slide. We're still going to use a bot ID because you can change it up a little bit. You could say, make this one look like a watercolor, make this one look like a, chalk drawing, whatever. Now for images, we have to change the URL that we're posting to. And for this one, it's going to look like this. Okay. It's OpenAI V1 images generations. Okay. So like I said, a little bit different. Model is the same. Now for the send string, I'm going to come right down here and I'm going to paste this in because I got it in my clipboard. There it is, a little bit different. Okay, yeah, you're going to have to get to typing. Be careful, watch all of the spaces and the quotes. You can OCR it off the screen if you want to, or if you're a gold member, you can just grab the database and copy and paste it right there. Some different options in here. The model, DALL-E 3 is the default model. The prompt is what the user content is. It's telling it basically what to make for the image. N is 1 here. That means you could tell it how many images to return, but no, we're just dealing with 1 at a time for now. You could say, like, make 3 of these. Size, there's some different size options. Here they are right there. You have to use these. You can't just type in any coordinates you want or any dimensions you want. I'm going to go with the smallest one for now. Okay. Quality, there's 2 qualities. There's standard and HD. Standard is faster, smaller, cheaper. HD, more detail, higher cost. Yes, these do take tokens. It's not much. To generate an image, a full HD image, I figured it out, was like 13 cents. It's not bad. But if you're going to be making lots and lots of these, yeah, the cost can add up. Okay, so we're going to just stick with standard for now. And then vivid or natural are the two options. Vivid is like colorful, imaginative, you know, those AI generated pictures you see. Oh, someone's beaming in. Like when I make my Star Trek-y kind of pictures, I go with vivid. Natural if you want it more, you know, photorealistic. All right, we're going to go with vivid for now. And one thing I forgot to do in the last video that we should do here, the user content. We should escape quotes, because if the user types in user content with quotes in it, it's going to mess things up. So let's put that. Actually, we got to deal with the system. System messages are handled differently too. You don't actually send a separate system message. You have to integrate that in with the user content. I'll show you that in a second, but watch. So let's do, right before we build the send string here, we're going to say user content equals replace user content. Now we want to replace an actual double quote with, it's got to be a backslash followed by a double quote and then close that string. So in other words, if the user content includes an actual double quote, you got to go backslash double quote so it doesn't break the JSON string here. Okay? Now, that user content, we no longer send a separate system message. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to pretend our bot is the system message that goes in front of whatever actual text we send in the user content. So we're just going to say here, if they specify a bot, get the system message, and then say user content equals system message, and the URL, or the AI doesn't care, just put a dash in there or whatever, and user content. So if your system message says something like, you know, make this a watercolor painting with vivid colors, blah, 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 and then the user content, they send in something like, you know, I want a tree in a forest, that kind of thing. Those two will just get merged together into one string. So here we don't even need to say that. And now we're just sending user content, which adds that in. So we really don't even need a separate variable, but we got it. All right, so we open that up. We generate the send string, do our status. All this runs, that's all the same. Now, just like before, we got to find between some stuff. It's going to be a URL, not content anymore. URL. What does that mean? Well, what OpenAI is going to do is it can't send a picture to your Access database, right? It's not going to send a picture. So what it does is it generates a URL, a public-facing URL. That's a big, weird string of characters. That's basically on the web, right? And you can then go there and get that picture. In fact, we have to change the end of it a little bit. It's going to be URL and then a colon. And then this is just another set of quotes like that. And I'm missing something somewhere. Hold on, let me double check it. There, I had to copy and paste from my notes. All right, so you're finding between in the response text this. So it's quote URL quote colon quote. And then on the end of it is just another set of quotes. And what's between there is going to be your response text. We don't need to delete trailing characters. Okay. And now ask OpenAI, it's going to return, this is going to be ask OpenAI picture is the function, is the response text. So it's going to return that URL. Okay, you with me so far? Save it. Let's give it a debug compile. Cross our fingers. Oh, okay, same thing, same problem. Ask OpenAI picture. Debug compile again. One more time. That catches all those. Okay, so we're good so far. All right, so let's make a bot next. Let's go in the bot table. And we'll just come down here. And we'll just say basic picture bot. Make a picture of the following, like this, right? And then the user content will be whatever's after it. And here's where you could put whatever, you know, because you might want to have like 10 different styles that you always work with. And those options that I showed you before, right? Feel free to make, to put this stuff in a table. In fact, when I was playing around in my database, I made it so I can pick that stuff. See, here's my database I was playing around with. right? I got HD as a checkbox. I got vivid and natural. And then I've got these, which are all the different types of like system messages that I want to send in there, right? I want it to be a chalkboard drawing or a crayon drawing or a digital painting. You can, Dungeons and Dragons style art. So it'll tack that on to whatever the user content is. And then there's the picture. And members in the extended cut, I'll show you how to get that picture inside your database. Well, not technically inside it, but how to display it in your database. That'll be in the extended cut. But for everyone else, we're going to get that URL now. All right, so we got our bot set. It's bot ID 7. Remember that. All right. Out here, design view, we got our bot combo right there. And let's make this a little bit lower. Copy, paste. And we'll say OpenAI picture. Okay, give it a good name. What did I call this one? Hello World. That's still the Hello World button. Okay. Get pick button. Just so Alex doesn't yell at us. All right, this will still be my text for my system message. So here, OpenAI picture. Right click, build event. We're going to say dim S as a string. S equals ask OpenAI picture. All right, it's my text is the user content. Bot 7. So that should return a URL. Okay. I'm going to, let's see, does it status it? I think it statuses it when it gets it. Definition. Does it? Let's see here. We can status it here. Let's status response URL is response text, just so we can see it here too. Okay, and then we're going to return it. So once it's returned, we get to decide what we're going to do with it here. Let's follow it, right? Follow hyperlink S. That'll open it up in your web browser. And then give me a beep. All right, save it. Debug compile again. All right, close it, open it. All right, let's do, how about, again, dogs playing cards. That's my favorite one to do a sample of. And we'll go, where is it? Basic picture bot, right there. Ready, click. Oh, bad request. Uh-oh, what happened? Now, in this case, this is where you do a little troubleshooting. I want to see exactly what is being sent to the AI. So let's go in here. And I want to see exactly what, let's see here. Oh, I think I know what it is. No, that's not it. I was going to say user content, send string. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, so here I want to status the send string. So I can take a peek at it and see what it looks like. It's usually something stupid like a parameter is slightly off or whatever. But let's take a look at it. All right, run it again. All right, there it is right there. Now we can take a peek. Let's shift F2, zoom in. All right, I did some troubleshooting off camera. And it turns out I had to ask ChatGPT what the issue was. So I sent it a copy of it. And at first it tried to tell me that my bot was too, or my instructions were bad because they had a quote, the colon in here, make a picture of, and then a colon. So I simplified that. That didn't fix it. And then it said it didn't like the dash in my, where I concatenated, where did I put it? In here. So I got rid of the dash. That didn't solve it. And then after analyzing my code, it said, oh, by the way, this model no longer supports anything but 1024 by 1024. So get rid of that. Okay, so now you're basically stuck with just that one thing. But after that, I clicked run, and it did make an image, and it looks all nice and pretty. There it is. It opened up in my browser, and there they are. Very cool. And you can see here what that image URL looks like. That's a big long one. The PNG file. All right, let's try another one. How about Kirk and Spock arguing? Now, I will say when I hit go here, I have had the image model complain. It would send back bad request or whatever due to copyright issues. Or it'll make an image that's, oh, it's okay, this one's not too bad. Pops up in my browser. That's not too bad. So it has more guardrails on it than ChatGPT does. So the ChatGPT engine can actually talk to the AI, the API AI, in a way that it can get more out of it. It gives it a lot more detail about exactly what Mr. Spock looks like. And so you can get a closer looking Mr. Spock. But the API is not going to give you that. It's just going to give you close enough images. But they're still good. And you can still use them for a ton of different purposes. Let's try one more. We're going to go a barbarian like Conan wielding a sword being attacked by a dragon, castle in the background. Give me a picture. Let's see what it does. See, now this one gave me bad requests. And I'll bet you it's because of the like Conan. Let's try. A barbarian wielding a sword. It could also be the punctuation. Let's try it again. Yep. See, when in doubt, ask ChatGPT. It says, what's wrong with this prompt? A barbarian wielding a sword being attacked by a dragon castle in the background. Weapon-related language, violence or combat, ambiguous phrasing. See, sometimes it chokes on prompts that aren't well-structured sentences. So let's try this. All right. A fantasy-style barbarian standing in front of a dragon with a medieval castle in the background. Okay. Let's try that. It's taking longer this time, so I think it's working. Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's pretty good looking. Yeah, see, you got to be very careful with copyright and with image violations and all that. Like, you can't make, obviously, not safe for work stuff. You got to be careful with copyrights, violence. And when in doubt, just ask, like I just did, just ask GPT, what do you think is the problem with my prompt? And it'll tell you. Yeah, see the content moderation API? Has a moderation endpoint you can call before sending a prompt to see if it will be flagged. I haven't tried this yet. That's new. It's overkill for casual use, but if you want to pre-validate prompts, like if you're going to make, if you're writing a book and you want to have your database generating images automatically, kind of like I do. Well, I don't use AI for images. I pick screenshots out of my videos. But here, yeah, avoid words like kill, attack, gun, sword, blood, and all that stuff. I'm not going to say too many of them because I don't want YouTube flagging this video. So there you go. That's how you get images. How you get your database to generate images, which is what I promised up front. Now, if you want to actually download those images to your PC, store them in an images folder, and display them in your database so you can go back and forth through the different images. These are all images that I did here in my database. I was working on the fitness series. I did these, right? Person sitting in a desk trying to build a Microsoft Access database in a gym. I was doing, see, I have different styles I picked here. 1950s retro poster, that kind of stuff. Right? Yeah, a little penguin stuff. My wife and I have a thing with penguins. But that's what we're going to do in today's extended cut. I'm going to show you how to download that image from the URL they give you. Right? Take the picture off the web, download it to your local computer. Because they don't keep it online very long. It's up there, I think like 3 days or something they say it's active for, which, of course, this stuff changes all the time. So we'll download it off their website, store it in a local PC in your images folder, and then I'll show you how to display that in your form so you can keep a little database with all your little images in it, and it'll be cool. But there you go. That is your Tech Help video for today. Hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that show more link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut TechHelp videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get one free beginner class each month, and yes, those are for my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my TechHelp videos. Plus you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get one free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject, and you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.